Brasilia, Korea, and USA, Serbia. This would be the semifinals in the women's tournament in Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. This is Volleyball Explained Olympics Special. Today, again, co-host will be Victoria. Seth, external media officer. That was the official position, right?
Yeah, CV external media officer.
Very interesting day in Tokyo, especially in 2 games. The other 2 was pretty much what we have expected, but Korea in the first game of the day eliminated the team of Turkey. For many people, Turkey was the favorite, but Korea prevailed in this match with a great game by Kim, their star, with 28 points. Also, very much contributed the otherwise outside hitter, Park. I'm not going to say their whole names because this is a very tough story, at least for me. And Turkey was not convincing. They had problems with their outside hitters. They were changing them. They started with Meliha and Hande Baladan. They then Selma Ercan and also Tukba started. Both of them started the tiebreak. So it was rotation all the time. And at the end, with some silly reception mistakes in the tiebreak, Turkey lost, and they actually threw away their chance for fighting for the medals. What do you think? And have you expected such a development in this game?
Yeah, you can actually always. I believe, like my theory is that you can always expect surprises. And I believe that's why also we all love volleyball, because sometimes you say, okay, these are the favorites, and then the favorites go and lose the match. So yeah, actually Kim, she played a very, very good match, and I believe it's like confirming this tendency of relying a lot on one player in women's volleyball. Okay, you said that other players also helped, but we can tell, also from the other matches, Serbia against Italy, that nowadays teams do rely a lot on one star player. So what I'm asking myself is, what happens if this one star player like that just doesn't have a day, as we say in Bulgarian, Then back to the game itself, looking at the statistics, actually Turkey were better. I believe you've seen them also. They prevailed on the block. They recorded 16 blocks, while South Korea recorded 12. They were also better on the serve, 7-4. And both teams, they showed equal level on the attack, on the winning spike, 63. Turkey led some more errors, so to affect the final score. Maybe this moment of lack of concentration, I don't know how to say it, but I'm not that much surprised, just to sum up, because the Koreans, they really put up a fight.
Yeah, actually, in one of the previous podcasts, Radoslav Arsov, the head coach of Nancy, shared that in his opinion, these teams, Korea and Turkey, are pretty much on the same level. So this is, at least for the specialists, not that big of a surprise, even though we could perceive that from what happened during the group stage. Okay, pretty much a surprise. I didn't watch this. I didn't watch this match live. But when I woke up at the morning today, I just realized what happened, and I was really surprised. Probably later, I watched partially the match, the whole tiebreak, and I believe that Turkey Turkey has great middle blockers, great opposite hitters, but they have some problems with having a reliable, at least one outside hitter who is capable of scoring a lot and being of a help of either Miriam Bös or Ebrar Karakurt, and also the great middle blockers, the captain Adair Dem and Zehra Güneş.
Yeah, okay. Maybe to finish this disease both,
Yeah, this is something very very important in my opinion in women's volleyball. Not only in women's volleyball, maybe even on a bigger ground in men's volleyball. But except the opposite, you need at least one outside hitters who is scoring a lot. If you don't have Tijana Boskovic, of course.
You need a plan B. Actually, you need this support system.
Let's go firstly shortly to USA Dominican Republic. This match was actually the less interesting one. No problem for the team of Karch Kiraly. 3-0 with 21 points for Andrea Drus and 13 points for Barch Hakli, the outside hitter. Pretty much domination in all elements. Probably the most important point in the match, taking into account what we can expect in the semifinals, is that Jordyn Poulter and Jordan Thompson, who started as a regular starting setter and starting opposite, were back on the bench. So probably they are going to be used if needed against the team of Serbia, and this is going to be a very tough match. Probably I could believe not as starters, Thompson and Poulter, but probably they are going to be ready to enter the game if needed.
Depends a lot on their shape. Also with Thompson, but this was a good sign, for the US volleyball fans to see her again today, because we know what she did in the pool stage, and she was leading the USA team towards the victory. So it's kind of a moment of okay, maybe we can count on her again. And the thing that you mentioned, USA just they were better on all the components. And I'm looking now that actually the Dominican Republic, they haven't scored a single ace, So you can imagine when a team doesn't put any pressure on the serve, the opposite team, they feel even more secure to organize their attacks and everything. So this is the beginning here. They were just better today, USA.
We mentioned a lot of times the deep bench of the US team, and after these injuries, actually they proved that with the reserve. I believe it's reserves only on paper, because, for example, Misha Hancock, I believe that she's holding the record for the most aces in one match in the Italian Championship. But still,
she was on fire last season on the club level. She was like, wow. You could watch her, like on Champions League, and I believe she was also named several times, or at least 1 or 2 times, MVP of a Champions League match. And I sincerely and personally, I do like these things when it happens a lot, because setters MVP awards mainly go to attackers, to hitters, to outside hitters, to the guys who are scoring and who are recording, but the setter is the mind. So you can imagine MVP goes to a setter that setter did, an amazing job. So you can call for, like substitute. No.
Very rare occasion. Going to Serbia, Italy, and that match, people have expected for a much more competitive game, but it wasn't. Serbia won 3-0. Of course, the match was not that easy for the Serbian team, but I would say 2 things. Firstly, a masterclass, and I will start not with Tijana Boskovic. I will start with Maja Ognjenovic, masterclass of Maja Ognjenovic. Not only because of the fact that she had that much variety, because she didn't still use the outside hitters that much, even though they helped also, but she was very much balancing between Boskovic, with, of course, the most received balls, with a great being very precise in setting these balls, but also using the middles very, very efficiently in this match, especially Milena Rasic, but also Mina Popovic. And on the other side, Italy's problem were exactly, again, the setters, which were not that exact in their performance, and Paola Egonu underperformed heavily, even though some of the balls were not that perfect. He underperformed, and of course, we know you said exactly this thing.
We can say, like, sorry for interrupting, but yeah, we can say Paola underperformed, but she scored 16, I believe. Maybe we're just, like, used to her hammering, I don't know, 30 points in the Champions League final. I believe, also that actually Serbia showed very good defense, so this was the key. Of course, you have Tijana Boskovic, but then they were able to show an excellent play game on the defense. And on the other side, as you mentioned, Italy had these problems and they couldn't organize their attacks. But I wouldn't, put the guilt on Egonu that she underperformed, because maybe 16 points is not that bad. Just that we are used to her hammering more.
Yeah.
And it was, the battle between Boskovic and Egonu. They started like rather equally, I would say, in the first set, because Boskovic, she scored 8, I believe, in the first one, and Egonu scored 7. Then something happened, in the second set.
For me, the problem is not the amount of points Egonu scored. The problem is mostly that she made a lot of errors, direct errors, and she was blocked a lot of times. I'm not talking about defenses, because they reflected this very good tactics of Serbia, taking into account how the block was positioned, where was it positioned, of course, and great defensive game, not only by the libero Silvia Popovic, but also of Maja Ognjenovic and the other players in backcourt. But I believe that these, if I remember properly, 4% efficiency, which is very low, especially for Egonu. And out of 17 points or 16 points converted, with 14 or 15 errors or kill blocks against her. So this is the real
it's a complex situation, maybe when you start and then you don't start as good as expected. Maybe it's it's difficult to change the mindset, throughout the game, and maybe this is what happened also to Egonu. I don't know, but you're completely right about the errors, the also unforced errors that Italy made. And again, looking at the statistics, I can see that Serbia scored 20 to their opponents' errors, while Italy scored 14. So this was also a little bit, Everything made a difference today for Serbia, because they were better in all the components. Only on the serve, both sides scored twice. So, but on block and on attack, Serbia were way, way better.
Yeah, and the other thing is that I really believe that Boskovic shouldn't be Boskovic, at least in this match. If the ball to her was set by, for example, Malinov or Orro, and not from Maja Ognjenovic, the experience is very much was very much a decisive factor, and not only in terms of setters, but also in terms of players like, for example, Milena Rasic and the other some of the other Serbians.
Here we come again, talking about the role of the setter. And while I agree with you about the experience and everything, that it matters a lot, I can also say that if you have Gianelli, for example, that he was also young, so it's more about, I believe, mental training. And I don't know if you get the point. I understand that experience matters a lot. Totally agree. But at such levels, maybe also there are other factors that a player should work on. You can't just say, okay, I'm not that much experienced. My opinion, of course.
Yeah, for sure. But the other problem is that Egonu doesn't have a substitute. I mean, she has a substitute, and I'm really surprised that Mazzanti didn't try even for a single moment to at least to change her. I mean, if you're not able to change Paola Egonu, I believe this is a problem. And the same is for Boskovic. But from this match, we can say that that's I'm not sure if Zoran Terzic or somebody other told it that Boskovic is better than Egonu, but it seems that he was right. Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
For this match, maybe not that I'm defending Egonu. I'm not a fan of, like I'm used to not expressing, but I believe it will be this battle between the both of them. It will continue and to satisfy all the volleyball fans. So this is like, I believe, the good news. Okay, Italy lost today, but they will find again each other, on club level or national level, Boskovic and Egonu, and maybe we'll be watching and we'll be like, okay, this time Egonu is better, and the next time Boskovic is better. So I believe overall this battle between the both of them will be very, very interesting also in the upcoming years.
Okay, let's go to the last quarterfinal. Brazil against Russia, 2-1 for Brazil. Brazil started being defeated in the first set, with Russia playing exceptionally well in attack. And then something happened. And for example, the opposite, Nataliya Goncharova, ended the match with only 9 points scored in attack. 9 points for 4 sets is something almost unreal for an opposite, and especially for Goncharova, with 7% only efficiency. Actually, she didn't she didn't make that many direct mistakes, but she was just not able to convert the balls set to her.
Finish them, They could, as we say in Bulgarian, I believe also in English, that they were able to read her.
Yeah.
And actually, I believe that what happened is that Brazil happened, but they happened as a team, because if you look at the statistics, you can see that 5 players, they finished with scoring in double digits. So this is very much different from what we were just talking about. Serbia and Italy. We have Gabi with 18 points, Rosa Maria and Carol, I believe, with 16. Tegaray and Carol with 14 and 10. So it's like, well, okay, this is a team effort,
A middle blocker with the most points is always an occasion that should be emphasized. And the other thing we should mention for sure is that Macris Carneiro was back, the starting setter, after this injury she got against Japan in the group stage. So she's back, and she included a lot of variety. Of course, this is linked also to the fact that we have 5 players with double digits. And on the other side, great match by Arina Fedorovtseva, the 17 years old from Russia, but she was not enough. Also, Voronkova helped, but this is the problem. We are playing variety and organization and quick playing and a lot of technique. Playing a second ball, a third ball if needed, a block out against a pure power from the Russian players, and that was just not enough. And we actually expected it.
Yeah, agree.
Okay.
I don't have anything else, to add.
Talking about indoor volleyball, of course, again, Brazil against Korea, and the other semifinal will be USA-Serbia. USA-Serbia is actually a replay of the semifinal from Rio, where the Serbians ended then the dream of the USA back then to win the Olympic title, but then lost to China in the final. Okay, just to mention lastly about indoor volleyball, that the semifinals in men's tournament, Brazil, Russia, and Argentina, France, tomorrow. And of course, let's go now to beach volleyball, and I'm leaving you to tell the spectators what actually happened in the quarterfinals in both men and women. Today were the men's quarterfinals.
Actually, only on the men's side, because women quarterfinals, they happened yesterday. So today the focus on the men's tournament, and we have 3 teams, 3 European teams in the semifinals. So I would say that it's a whole European domination, on the beach volleyball, the men's beach volleyball tournament. The day started with the quarter-final between Leshukov and Semenov, who are representatives of the Russian Olympic Committee, and the Norwegians superstars, I would say, Mol and Sorum. They are the number 2 ranked team, as per FIVB ranking. Actually, these both teams they have met now in the pool stage, and Leshukov and Semenov they won against Mol and Sorum. So I would say that Mol and Sorum today they took the sweetest revenge. They got the sweetest revenge ever, because this win comes on the quarterfinals. They dominated the match totally, and I don't know what else to say about this, because they were the better team. Of course, the Russians they put up some fights, but what made the difference today was the most successful attacks by Mol and Sorum, 32 to 24. And the Russians had some more errors, to affect the game. This was the first quarterfinal, so Mol and Sorum from Norwegia, they qualified to the semifinals. In the next one, we had Plavin Stokes, Martin Plavins. He's a bronze medalist from London, but not with Stokes. And they play with the Brazilians, Alisson and Cerruti. I don't know if I pronounce it right. I'm sorry if anybody from Brazil is listening to us. And Alvaro Filho. Alisson was actually the reigning Olympic champion with another player, Schmidt. And they won. The Latvian guys, they won 2-0, 21-16, 21-19. They started better in the match. The Brazilians tried really to fight, in the second set, but also here again, the Latvians they were able to score the break points, and in the important moments, because in the second set it was 19-19, and then I don't know if it was Stokes or Plavins, they just scored, So this is what we were talking about also for indoor volleyball just minutes ago. The importance of scoring these decisive balls to finishing the game. So these are the second semifinalists from today's quarterfinals. Then in the afternoon session, we had very interesting match between the reigning world champions, Krasilnikov, Vyacheslav Krasilnikov and Oleg Stoyanovsky, against the vice world champions, Vilios Stole and Clemens Wickler. So actually it was a rematch, of the world's final. And again, the Russians, they won 2-0. Actually, what was the score? 21-16 and 21-19. And they were better. They were better on all components, The Germans did put up some fight, but Stoyanovsky and Krasilnikov, they were able to work better, to serve better, to put some pressure on the serve. And of course, the Germans' reception sort of suffered from that. And in the last quarterfinal, we had just 1 second. Sharif Ahmed, they are the number 1 ranked team, as per last week, I believe, or this week. And they played against Italians Nicolai and Lupo, Paolo Nicolai and Daniele Lupo. Nicolai and Lupo, they are the silver medalists from Rio. So very much experienced also. They had done a very, very good tournament so far. But obviously, the Sharif and Ahmed, they were just better, The Italians tried to come back in the second set. It finished 23-21. But again, the decisive points, the important moments. And as per statistics, statistically, both teams were very close on the attack, 26-25. And on the serve, both ace-1. The Qataris, they were better on the block, 6-3. So the semi-finals that are taking place tomorrow. It's just 1 second. It will be in the afternoon session, and it will be the Norwegian Small and Sorum against the Latvians, Pavin Stock. So it will be an all-European derby. And then Sharif Ahmed against Krasilnikov and Stoyanovsky. There is very interesting, like head-to-head statistics on our blog on the CV web page if you're interested, just to go in and check to see how many wins one team has against another one. But I believe that it will be very, very interesting, amazing battles, because these are, to me, at least from what I've seen these days, the best teams. So really looking forward to it.
Let's in this very extensive information you presented.
Sorry?
I would like to include to add two things. Firstly, it's very interesting linguistically that we have a WUPO in the beach volleyball tournament because WUPO in Italian means an UF. And also we have an UF in the women's, and at least we had an UF in the women's volleyball tournament in the name of Ebrar Karakurt. Actually, Karakurt in Turkish means the black UF. So we have UF both in women's volleyball indoor tournament and in beach volleyball men tournament. And the other thing is that because I've always admitted that I'm not that into beach volleyball, today I understood that actually the Qatari players are Ahmed is a Gambian and Sharif is a Senegalese. That means that these two are probably the best African volleyball players in general. Because
number one team.
Yeah, they're number one team in beach volleyball in the world, and we all know that teams like Tunisia and Egypt have decent players, but not something special, and they are not most of them are not playing even in Europe.
I believe it's a very, very deep conversation.
Yeah,
on why Africa doesn't have that well developed volleyball.
Yeah, but
I don't believe it's about the physical qualities. It's about
for sure. Yeah. Let's not get into this conversation, but still, I watched them today, and they're pretty gigantic in terms of physics and also style of playing as a whole. And actually, the Italians were pretty decent in this match, but still just the Qataris
they really
prevailed.
Yeah. Exactly. Because sometimes, in sports, the others are just better than you. Not that you haven't fought a fight,
Just to mention the pairs in the women's semifinals, the Swiss team Verge Depré and Heidrich. Verge Depré is one player, and Heidrich will play April and Alex from the USA. And the Australian team Martacho del Solar and Clancy will play against another Latvian pair. It seems that the Latvian, it is the most represented nation in beach volleyball in the semifinals. Latvia with both a man and a male and female pair with Graudina and Kravchenoka, and that's all they will play in the morning
Olympics
session.
Also, for the girls. So it's been like a dream for them all. I'm not following that much in detail, the competition. This is why we don't discuss these matches. But it is their first Olympics, so heads down to them.
Yeah. I believe that was pretty much for today. Very detailed information, both for the quarterfinals in the women's section, also in the quarterfinals in the beach volleyball tournament. Of course, we are entering the most important stage of both tournaments. The best left teams play against each other, and we're expecting with great interest Brazil against Russia and Argentina against France are firstly the men's semifinals. Thank you again for being a co-host of Volleyball Explained Olympics Special, and I hope that we're going to enjoy really good matches until the end of the tournament. I would like to thank to the spectators. Really, really nice. We're receiving a lot of comments in the. Keep doing that. Keep sharing your opinion about what is happening. Probably not also in the indoor volleyball, but also in the beach volleyball if you're following it, of course. And we are really open to ideas for videos, for other podcasts, for topics to podcast. So we're going to be very grateful if you do that. Thank you, and see you also the next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you.